Yo, yeah, I know what time it is.
It's like a little noise. Freedom. Maybe. Believe. My vision. Ready? Decide.
Well, hello there. You are listening to Society Bites Radio, and I'm your host today, Jill Krieger, and you are listening to the Sarasota exclusive radio show. And we are a group of professionals in a seat exclusive networking group, and we pride ourselves in bringing together professionals, and we are passionate about helping each other find our perfect person or business or connection that helps each of us grow our business so that we can help everybody else in the community with all of their different expertise. And today I am excited to bring you Dr. COEURLIDA Ashby, and she is an amazing woman who has a wealth of knowledge and really, really wants to help people change the quality of their health, not by necessarily using medications, but by utilizing all of the healthy things around us. So good morning, Dr. Ashby.
Good morning, Jill. Good morning to everyone.
I'm so glad you are here, and I know that we're going to have a lot of fun educating people today on how to actually create health without necessarily utilizing medicine, huh?
Yes, and this is the part of health that we call prevention. And there's a shift right now towards prevention in the medical community because we are treating a lot of chronic preventable diseases. So my aim is to help those who aren't yet plagued with disease to make better choices to keep them on the healthful path.
Love that. Obviously, we speak that language very well together. Let's give everybody just a little bit of your background, and then let's dive into this and have some fun.
Okay, well, everyone, I was born and raised in Haiti, but I came to the US when I was 12, so I'm pretty Americanized. I did my undergrad at Wellesley and stayed in the Northeast for medical school and for training at Yale. And because I'm a Caribbean girl at heart, I had to come back to the sun. So I've been in Florida ever since my training ended. And for the last 10 years, I've been practicing internal medicine in the conventional sense here in Florida. And in the last few years, have realized that the shift towards prevention is what is actually needed for my services. And so my medical practice and focus are on health and fitness, and health meaning prevention.
Fantastic. And something you hit on, and I want to get back to prevention, but you had said that you really want to help the people that aren't sick yet. But what about those people that are sick?
Well, there are plenty of gray zone illnesses that are reversible, and most of those fall into the category of chronic diseases, those that we manage over time, but can really take steps to reverse. A few common examples of these are obesity, which leads to high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, and other chronic conditions. Obesity is at the root of that, and obesity itself is a reversible issue. So even those who are plagued with what we may call a specific disease that requires medication, there might be opportunities to completely reverse that depending on the case.
Fantastic. I really want people to hear that there's hope, that just because they're in this place now doesn't mean they have to stay there.
And even if there is an preventable disease, it doesn't preclude the person from promoting the best possible health that they can be in. For example, a lot of times when we decide whether someone can have surgery for a condition that they didn't ask for, they didn't, get by making poor choices, we have to look at their fitness. The level of fitness can determine whether you are fit enough to undergo life-saving operations. And so at every stage, it's always important to maximize the health that the host is in, that the person is in.
Love that. So everybody here, there is hope out there. You don't have to be a victim to where you are right now or your genes or anything. You have a
Absolutely.
choice. Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's every day and at every point. You have a choice.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's a big piece that people don't get, that it's the daily choices that they're making that make the difference in the long term.
Absolutely. And I couldn't agree with you more. In my life, for example, in the life of other professional bodybuilders, the day they stop working out, that day counts as a day that you didn't perform your best in keeping the best possible health that you have. So every day it does matter. I do encourage everyone that I work with to get in a space daily, whether that's in the morning or in the evening. I recommend it being in the morning, where you enter what is called a peak state. And by that, I mean get in the best physical shape of your life by entering this space every day. It will also help the mind. So the magic of it all is it's a little bit every day that helps to transform.
Yes. And because I think people go, oh, well, it's not going to hurt me to,
Mm.
indulge in this cheeseburger and French fries, or it's not going to hurt me to, and no, maybe not today, but the tomorrows that you want.
Yeah. Yeah, procrastination is a killer. It's a hard one to battle with. But if you think of the small steps as just what you can do today and not the mountain that you eventually have to climb, it makes it easier. And yes, in addition to getting into a peak state daily and doing a little bit for the body and mind, those choices that we make daily also amount to our total life. The choice of picking up the cheeseburger or deciding on something else. It may seem small, and it is a small thing, but they do add up. So the choices that we make daily in nutrition matter and in physical activity.
Absolutely. So let's dive into that food thing, because we know in our life right now, society, that we are bombarded constantly between advertising and TV and social events, food.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
so, yeah,
If there is no intention when we put food in our mouths, what is available to us will get us to the hospitals, no doubt, with chronic disease. Unfortunately, mass feeding required the production of quickly available, packaged, oftentimes preserved food items that over time aren't good when accumulated in the body. They cause diseases. We know this, from popular culture, from experiments that have been done by people who individually went on a McDonald's only diet, okay? And from studies that have come out that show a certain amount of, fat, processed, and other types of chemicals that the foods are produced and packaged in does lead to inflammation, some of the unknown medical conditions out there that are coming out, in addition to the very basic and number one killer in our country, heart disease. So food is a major pathway that if there is no awareness or consciousness when we are organizing our days and our weeks, food is a major killer, or it can be a great opportunity.
yeah. Well, I know that the things that I've heard and we've seen is all seeing, food should be our medicine, not the pill.
Yes, yes, and it is when chosen appropriately. The fact is that we do have the option. It is up to us to make the choices. And again, it falls back on that individual in that moment of choice. Food is medicine. And food is oftentimes the way that we begin a reversal of the chronic disease process. The first thing I do when I start working with a client who wants to lose 5 pounds or 10 or 15, has an event to go to, or wants to get healthier, is we begin by looking at what they like to eat, and we make a meal plan based on some of the healthy items that they like to eat. It's not that difficult, but it does require us to stop and to clearly make the choices of what will go into that body over the coming weeks.
Absolutely. Weeks, months, years,
Yes.
life, if you want to have a healthy life.
Yeah.
So
And it starts with a habit, and the habit begins with planning, and the planning starts by making a decision that you are going to make healthier choices. And so the month of work that I do with nutrition with clients usually ends up giving them a lot of tips and ideas on where they can adjust meals themselves and begin to do it for themselves, because it is a lifelong process that one needs to learn. Yes.
it sounds like you're stepping them into it. It's not like, okay, they're eating McDonald's and now I want you to go all organic and prepare all of your meals and do it this way.
It is a gradual process because there is withdrawal. There's withdrawal from sugar, there's withdrawal from caffeine. So it's a gradual process. So what you want to do is maximize those things that you already have in your diet that could be good. Some people enjoy salads, but they're also having burgers and they're having a lot of soda, a lot of fruit juices. So they don't actually realize that the amount of sugar that is in those is overkilling the little effort that they're doing with the salad. So a little bit of education goes a long way in those instances where you can substitute maybe flavored water for some of those sodas and juices and still add the salad, but now you're adding some protein in the salad. So there are ways to make it so it isn't a drastic change, but a good transition. And the benefit is feeling well the first day of a meal plan, feeling like, wow, I have no bloating, I feel wonderful, my energy level is up. So this excitement usually keeps people on the path when they begin a new meal plan. And that's the power of eating right, is transforming your energy level right away. It doesn't take weeks to feel the difference.
Yeah. And, that's really a great thing. I do a lot, that because I'm a health coach and I help people really within 3 days, they feel so much better.
Yes. And
Yeah.
it's exciting because they didn't, expect that. When you talk to people initially who are embarking on a transformation journey, or they need to lose 10 pounds because that wedding is at the end of the month, they think it's going to be difficult. They think it's going to be hard. They think the food won't taste right. They think it's going to be a huge sacrifice in terms of meals and enjoyment. But what I've found is that is actually the opposite. The hardest work for people as they get started on this journey is actually going out, buying the ingredients, and then sitting there in the kitchen and begin the planning. That's the mountain, because they're not used to cooking for themselves or putting a few meals together. But once they have a few days worth, the energy level and the excitement is through the roof, and the momentum is it's unbridled now. So, and I just have to keep up with them and answer questions. So I find that the hardest part is not it's not enjoying the food. You want to be enjoying foods that you will be eating for the rest of your life, and there are ways to enjoy healthy foods that taste good and that get you the results without getting the negative side effects of poor choices.
Right. What I have found, and tell me, is that once people have made that change and they do it for, some time, not forever, for a couple of months or whatever, that when they go and eat something that they thought they used to like, it doesn't quite taste as well. And a lot of times they don't feel so good.
Mm-hmm. The body remembers, and the body will tell you. It's getting back that sensitivity that the organism, the body is so apt at doing over time by killing it with consistent exposure to those toxic foods. We even mute the own signals that something's going wrong with the body.